Good morning, it's January 6th. This is to my little friends, and I want to wish a happy birthday to my oldest daughter, Heather. In a couple of weeks, we'll have an inauguration of Donald Trump as the 47th President of the United States. It'll be an interesting one because in 2020, Trump did not attend the inauguration of Joe Biden. He was still contesting the results of the election, falsely in my opinion, and that was a mistake. Several in the media have made the claim that he was only president not to attend the inauguration of his successor, but they're wrong and guilty of not doing their homework. Surprise. John Quincy Adams, and Andrew Johnson skipped the inauguration of their successors. But this one is unique in that Trump was the president from 2017 to 2021. He was defeated by Joe Biden. Trump then made the political comeback of ages and won again. Joe Biden was forced out of the race by a coup orchestrated by Barack Obama and Nancy Pelosi. His numbers were in the tank. He had just suffered a colossal loss in the June debate, and rumors were rife that he was suffering from serious cognitive failure. But in Biden's mind, he was still in charge, and recent comments by those around him make it clear he believes he could have won. The fact are, these two men dislike each other. They have never been friendly. Biden thinks that Trump is a threat to democracy, something he's repeated over and over, has called him a dictator, and compared him to Adolf Hitler on multiple occasions. From Trump's side, he has insulted Biden by calling him Sleepy Joe and claimed that Biden ordered his Justice Department to wage lawfare against him despite any real evidence. In Trump's defense, most of the legal cases brought against him seem to be of political nature, and they were stretches in the law. In his closing days of holding the office of president, it appears that Biden is going out of his way to get under the skin of Trump. On Friday, he handed out presidential citizen medals to several people that you have to wonder what they did to achieve them. First and foremost was honoring Liz Cheney. She got a standing ovation at the White House with the room packed with partisan Democrats. You have to assume she was awarded this medal because she was the Republican that led the attack on Trump over the January 6th debacle. She also campaigned heavily with Kamala Harris in an effort to defeat Trump. Biden said she deserved the medal for, quote, putting the American people over party, end quote. If that's the case, then someone like Dean Phillips, a Democratic congressman who challenged Biden, should get the award as well. It should be noted that Cheney went down to defeat in Wyoming for her participation in the attacks on Trump. I guess the people of Wyoming did not think she deserved any award. Over the weekend, Biden issued a ban on offshore drilling. According to the rule issued, is a permanent ban on 625 million acres of ocean. It was done under the 1953 Outer Continental Shelf Lands Act. It would be difficult for Trump to reverse it and probably require Congress to undo this rash act. I suspect they'll take that up. And it was a move to make it difficult for Trump to encourage oil exploration in the United States. It's a key to bringing down inflation by reducing energy costs. I think Biden would like energy costs to stay up, inflation to stay up, so he can blame Trump for it. Then in the Washington Post, Biden penned, more likely someone on his staff, an op-ed calling on people to remember January 6th from 4 years ago. Now, because of the death of former President Jimmy Carter, Biden has ordered the U.S. flags to be flown at half-mast, something that is a tradition. However, it's also the first time that we've flown at half-mast during the inauguration of a president. The proper thing to do would have been to raise them to full mast the day of the inauguration, then put them back down to half-mast the next day. But Democrats have jumped on this act and have reveled in the knowledge that the flags will be half-mast during Trump's inauguration. If you've been following the news closely, you know that behind closed doors, Biden tends to curse a lot. He's described Trump as, quote, a sick fuck, when out of the range of the media. He has used similar language to express his opinion of Trump on other occasions. This from the guy who had promised to unite the nation, toned down the level of incivility, but he remains angry that he was forced out of the race and vehemently believes he could have won. That's how delusional he is in his old age. But earlier in the campaign, Biden said it was time to put a bullseye on Trump. In an interview with Lester Holt on NBC, he defended his harsh rhetoric of Trump and said it was important to clearly communicate the threat that he viewed of a second term of Donald Trump. Now, I'm not going to excuse Trump on this issue. I'm sure he has used some harsh language about Joe Biden, as I said. And I'm not talking about things he says in public. My guess is Trump can swear over the best of them. But on January 20th, the two of them will ride in the same limousine from the White House to the Capitol. That's the tradition. I'm sure in light of Trump being shot at a campaign rally, the comment about the bullseye will be on both of their minds. They will enter the Capitol together. While they're there, the White House staff will be furiously changing over the residence from Biden to Trump. Biden will quietly leave the Capitol and return to the White House, where he and his wife will be given a send-off by his partisan administration staff. A while later, Donald Trump will again re-enter the White House as the President of the United States. He will walk into the Oval Office, sit down at the desk, and open the drawer. Tradition states there will be a letter there for him, written by Joe Biden. I'm guessing we'd all like to read that letter, but normally it stays private. One thing is sure, it will probably not reveal Biden's true feelings. It will not show the anger within him towards Trump once again taking office as president. It will not show the anger he harbors toward the Democrats that forced him to resign from the campaign. This is because in his own mind, as feeble as it is in his advanced age, will not allow him to face reality and admit that he should never have been president in the first place and should have simply retired to Rehoboth Beach in Delaware after leaving the office of vice president. This has been To My Liberal Friends. Thanks for listening.